Our loans start at 10,000.
Okay.
But we go up to 250,000.
Tiffany Calendars, finally get to see your face.
Oh, pun intended.
There are some people who get nervous with the word loan.
Our job is to make sure that Black entrepreneurs get access to debt capital to start and scale their businesses.
The irony of it was that the phrase that I did not believe in happened to be the only one that was there to support us.
If it wasn't for FaZe, we wouldn't be here.
Are you worried if there's a change in government that there could be an impact?
I've been in the nonprofit sector for so long, I don't get worried, I just get ready.
What is FaZe?
FaZe reached out to me because they were having this wonderful event here.
So when I heard about this event, I was told that it was going to be an event filled with many different Black business owners and put on by FaZe. And I just wanted to come and network as well as continue to spread awareness of our brand.
I got invited to this event by FaZe. We happen to be one of the FaZe-funded businesses, and then we felt that it would be a very good thing to be part of it because it's something that is very, very essential for the community.
I'm so passionate about supporting our Black community, our Black entrepreneurs. FaZe is doing amazing work and helping us to navigate where the money comes from to do all the work these guys need to do to get their business to the next level.
One thing that we lack in a Black community is the networking. So here you see people from different backgrounds. You see Nigerians, you see Ghanaians, you see Caribbeans, you see people who are Blacks generally. And it's a very, very important opportunity for us to come together. It's a very, very important event that I think must be sustained.
So when you see this happening, it's an opportunity to get them in front of our residents, to let people know that, at the door, that there are companies that do Band-Aids or do candles or whatever it is. And then also learning how we can support them so that they can actually scale their business and not make it a side hustle, but a legit business that they can employ other people and just keep circulating that Black dollar. We say Black business. The key part for me is business.
Tiffany Calendars, finally get to see your face.
Oh, pun intended.
CEO of FaZe.
Nice to see you as well.
For our viewers who don't know what FaZe is, Tiffany, what is FaZe?
So FACE, the Federation of African Canadian Economics, is an organization that specializes in creating generational Black wealth. Our mandate is to manage a loan fund of $160 million. It's historic in nature. It's never been done in Canada, supported by the federal government and the BDC and other financial institutions. And our job is to make sure that Black entrepreneurs get access to debt capital to start and scale their businesses.
For so long, there's been a conversation, especially online, of people saying, how do we build more wealth in our community? Stats after stats, year after year, decade after decade would show that the Black community, unfortunately, was one of the poorest communities. But not poor in spirit and not poor in entrepreneurial spirit.
Oh, no. Or hustle, or dedication, or grind. No, never. But we needed access to the resources to be able to manifest from grind to
And resources,
actual.
we're talking about money. Let's just get,
Absolutely.
let's call it what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Entrepreneurship in the Black community is not new, but what it should be is more accessible and easier to realize. And I think that that's what a loan fund does, but more importantly, a loan fund that is made by the Black community, administered by the Black community, which allows for us to have a control over where our investments go for our long-term future.
A lot of people for so long would hear a narrative, a rhetoric of people are lazy, pull yourselves up from the bootstraps. But for so long, the Black community has been showing there is hustle, there is a work culture, there's this grind culture, don't stop, won't stop.
Because we can't stop. It's literally that we cannot abandon who we are. And who we are people who understand that growth happens through force. It's through toil. It's through push. So when you have that resilience, that anti-fragility becomes a superpower. So there's never been a lack of that in our community. You can't have a community that has one of the highest education ratings or results. We have more degrees than most, but less job opportunities. You know what I mean? We have more, we contribute more to society, whether it's in social or any other kind of economic capital, but yet we don't have the returns. So that means that there's barriers.
What were some of those barriers that some Black businesses identified?
When we started FACE, this was during the pandemic. If there was going to be an economic crisis due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Black businesses would suffer terribly. And the indicator for that was when the federal government came out with the Canadian Emergency Bank Account, which was this $40,000 loan through financial institutions, 0% interest, 2 years to pay back. If you get to 80%, they forgive 20%.
And this loan was created by the federal government to help keep businesses alive.
Correct.
Because we were all hunkered down at home and told to stay home.
That one was the one that caught our eye because
Why?
by looking at the criteria for eligibility, we said, oof, most of our black businesses won't even meet the criteria to be
Why?
able to have access to that. There were certain elements, like, for example, you had to have 2 years of registered payrolls for that. Now, a lot of small black businesses, we use contract work to be able to do work.
So you're starting off.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what you end up having is barriers built into eligibility, and then that means they will not get the support. And that's when you ring the alarm. And the ring the alarm in my world, it's to say, hey, this product that you've put out, it's a great reaction to what we're facing, but it's not going to reach everybody. And let us tell you why it's not going to reach most of our black entrepreneurs. And that's where we jumped to action and said, hey, government, let's have a conversation about addressing the core issue, which is financial institutions and black folk who have businesses are not working collaboratively together. Now's the moment to do something so that we can create long-standing change. Not a COVID response, but a response to a long-standing issue.
So COVID kind of was just the catalyst to get that conversation to the point where it needed to get to.
Correct, exactly.
My business personally is self-funded, and I find that in Canada there's not much funding out there, especially for grants. Loans, maybe you can find a little bit easier, but even so, there are a lot of barriers, especially for black businesses. We don't really have the knowledge, especially financial knowledge, when it comes to budgeting and how to actually gain capital or access capital for our businesses.
In this industry, it's very unfortunate the hardships that black entrepreneurs face. And as we continue to build community and work together to ensure that we all have a revolving door of opportunities, capital, resources, I think that's extremely important and it benefits us all.
You know, there are some people who get nervous with the word loan
Yep. of
and
course.
debt.
Yep.
But let's clear up that myth, because that's debt and having a loan is not a bad thing.
No.
It's actually quite necessary when you have an idea and if you want to grow a business.
Yeah.
Correct?
Of course, but let's talk about culturally where that comes from.
Where does it
right?
come from?
Well, because when you know you are navigating a system that is built often to exclude you, you limit risk. But this idea of the interest and the payback and what if something happens and then I can't. And what I would offer to black communities is that it is time now for us to understand that we do and we can, and that we have to take chapters from others if we want to be able to scale. That's what loans are. Now, when we assess risk at face, we look at if you can manage the actual debt that you're taking on. This is not a risk-free we also have to manage our portfolio. So we're having a conversation with with the lenders and the borrowers. We're saying, hey, this is what your numbers say, this is what you can bear on your company, this is factoring in, seasonally what we've seen. This is the whole idea of a business plan. A business plan tells the story of your business and where you're going. And then that helps us to better understand the risk that we're taking. And I think we're seeing it get better.
I heard about Face maybe like 2 years ago through a friend of mine. And when he told me about Face, I said, don't mind them. They only give loans to people that are close to them. Later, I just said, you know what? Why not just give it a try? I gave it a try, I applied, and it was very seamless application process. The irony of it was that the Face that I did not believe in happened to be the only one that was there to support us. And today, in the Nigerian community, our new restaurant is like top-notch. Nothing like that exists in North America. And if not for Face, we wouldn't have been able to do that.
So talk to me about that moment when you heard this endowment fund was coming.
Yes. So you mean the other huge project? that's
Yeah, the other
happening?
huge project.
Hey, this is exciting. Listen, I've been in the nonprofit sector exclusively serving black people
Yeah.
for over 20 years. And to hear that there is going to be a black entrepreneurship program, to hear there's going to be a black endowment fund.
But what do we mean by black endowment fund? Because
Yeah.
some people watching might be like, what do you mean by that? Like,
Yeah.
we're all getting a check for $1,000. Like,
No,
what does that mean?
No. An endowment
Yeah.
fund is a fund that is basically perpetually growing, right? So as we look at philanthropy in this country,
Yeah.
is that philanthropy and endowment funds are a way to catalyze resources to then be able to invest in communities. So the endowment fund is managed by the FFBC. And this is their mandate to make sure that Black communities are healthier, are thriving, the health indicators are there, and that's through investment. So imagine, to my surprise, I'm from Montreal, and we're there, and we're building and crafting this entire loan program, and then we hear, oh wait, there's an endowment fund. It was happening at the same time in Ontario. But you know what? It's interesting about that is it shows also how we need to kind of break down the silos in our community, and like how could two amazing initiatives that land be building, like flying like by next to each other at night and not know. So I think the beauty, like the understory of this is that after these announcements happen, then I started to see what I like to call Team Black Canada. Then you start to see leadership who maybe were siloed, we didn't know each other, we're all doing great work. We're all, in good trouble, like we like to say. We don't know each other, so we might as well do good trouble together. And we started to work. So I think that's what I've seen over the last 4 years. And it's exciting for somebody who's been in it for 2 decades.
When we started, we thought we were going to launch with 4 products, and then we had a business consultation, and they said, you're not going to be able to enter the beauty supply industry competitively with 4 products. And we were so concerned about the money, like how do you enter this space and not be able to provide competitive pricing to your customers? Face launched their program, we applied, we got our loan, and we were able to launch our beauty supply store with over 500 different products on our website. I'm just grateful. Like, if it wasn't for Face, we wouldn't be here.
So a lot of entrepreneurs are probably watching this and they're thinking like, okay, I want to tap into Face. And by the way, you can access Face, the link in the description below. We got you. But how much of the loans can people access? Can entrepreneurs access?
So our loans start at $10,000.
Okay.
Right now, our pilot micro lending program is only in Ontario and BC. Stay tuned. And but we go up to $250,000.
Big deal.
Well, yes, that's big deal for a community that is now starting this loan program. Again, there are eligibility criteria. So you will need a business plan. You have to have your taxes up to date for your business if it's incorporated, or personal if it's a registered business. We include registered businesses in it. Another question I get often is, do I have to be a citizen of Canada? No, but you can. Yes, you can apply even if you have your permanent residency. So that's important to note. Your PR counts. You have to have your financials. So tell us about your business and your projections of where you're going to go. Use of funds. All of this stuff is at facecoalition.com/loan program, and you find the details. And you can call our Face Support Center. We have an entire department who's just there to answer your questions about how to apply when you go on the platform. And if you're not ready, if you don't have those documents, we also refer you to organizations under the BEP that are there to help you. The work is not even close to being done. We have gotten in the pool. We are now getting our toes wet. We are learning how we're going to, navigate this space. And we need to continue as a community to be dedicated to the strategies that we put forward for ourselves. I'm going to go back to things that, our grandparents told us, each one, teach one, tell somebody. If you heard about it and it worked for you, tell somebody. So you telling somebody, right? Let somebody
you might know somebody who's starting a business who needs a little bit of help,
exactly.
And it's like
do not hoard a good thing. You share a good thing. To our partners, the Government of Canada and others, it is very important that we recognize what expertise, what know-how, what the value that has been brought to the larger Canadian society by allowing Black people to design their own solutions and execute them.
May I ask you, are you worried if there's a change in government that there could be an impact?
I've been in the nonprofit sector for so long, I don't get worried, I just get ready.
Okay, and on that note...
Shamanamana.
Tiffany, you and Face continue to show face around this country, okay?
Okay.
Period. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. Lovely talking to you.
Hey, it's BG, and I want to know, what do you think about what you just watched? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below, but also make sure to check out even more great content like this video and this video over here. And if you haven't subscribed to the Brandon Gona Show, do so right now by clicking this button right here.